can't believe I put on jeans for this. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Ariella. I am a second-year medical student and I make videos about my life as a second-year medical student. I recently moved into a brand new apartment for second year, so I wanted to share with you guys a little apartment tour. I did a poll on my YouTube community tab and you guys seem to want to see it, so I'm super excited because I did put a lot of effort into making this space the place that I wanted to spend 9 months really studying hard and grinding, so it's very pleasing to me. And although not everything is 100% the way that I want it, I do still have some furniture and stuff coming. I figured that I would just show you anyway and insert little pictures of the things that I am going to be receiving in the mail soon. Hopefully soon, we'll see. So just a little bit of background information before we start. I actually started school quite a while ago, over a month ago now. And what happened is the first 2 weeks of our curriculum were going to be entirely virtual, and then we would start with weekly labs in person. And so by the time that they let us know that we had weekly labs in person, I couldn't sign a lease for an apartment until the middle of September. So that left an entire month of time that I was not living in this space. And so for the first 2 weeks, I was just quarantining up in New Hampshire. As you guys know, you probably saw vlogs from the beginning of medical school where I was still in the apartment that I was staying at over the summer, and that is the reason why. And then so for the second 2 weeks before I moved in, but while we had in-person labs, I was living at home in Delaware. I commuted every time we had a lab, and that definitely got annoying really quickly. It's about a 2-hour commute, so that was definitely pretty rough. But I am so excited to finally have this space and share it with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy watching this. You get some inspiration for your own apartments. I am not a great interior designer, like literally at all. I pretty much suck at it, so I'm happy with the way things came together. But if you think that there's something that I'm missing or like a piece that would really bring the space together, definitely let me know down in the comments because I love interior design advice. Like I said, I am pretty bad at it. So without further ado, let's get on into the actual apartment tour. All right, so first up is the little entry space. Honestly, it's not super interesting, and I'm not going to be showing the outside just in case anybody recognizes what apartment complex this is. Obviously, I don't want to show exactly where I live on the internet, but when you walk right into the apartment, there is a little, it's not tile, it's just like linoleum or something, but it looks like tile. There's a little tile section before you enter the carpet, and then there is also a coat closet. So as the name suggests, I just keep coats in here. I also keep my extra toilet paper and paper towels down there. A vacuum. This is a fantastic vacuum and it was on sale on Amazon, so if I can find it, I will link it down below. I would honestly buy it even if it wasn't on sale. And then I also keep my lunchbox for school up there, even though we're not really doing anything in school. Okay, so if we turn from the entrance, we enter what I would consider like the little dining nook area. And I'm honestly not 100% happy with this. I feel like it's missing something in this corner right here, but we'll chat about that. I might end up putting a plant there or something. So this little dining set is from Amazon, and then I have 3 cork board art pieces above. They're like kind of asymmetrical, so even though I put the nails in the exact same spot, the photos ended up being a little bit off, but I'm not really willing to put more holes in the wall in order to fix that. So we're just gonna leave that as is for now. But those are actually from the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City. My mom had them and they've been hanging in our dining room for a really long time. And I noticed that she was getting rid of them, and so I asked if I could have them. And we just have a little candle here. And then I also added this mirror on the wall. Hello. I feel like that just opens up the space a lot, makes it feel bigger than it actually is. And so like I said, it would be really nice if I could get like a medium size to large size plant to put in that little spot there. All right, so moving from the dining area to the kitchen. So the kitchen is pretty small and it's actually probably the most outdated part of this apartment, but it's got everything that I need. It's got a dishwasher, it's got, you know, the full-size fridge, oven, And aside from like the cabinetry being a little out of date, it's totally functional. So getting a little closer, we have a little section here. This little ledge I just keep tissues on, and I'll plop my purse down there whenever I get back from driving somewhere, and then I have my keys hanging. So on this side of the kitchen, we just have a bunch of cabinetry, my oven, and my coffee station. The cabinetry is really not that interesting, but one thing that I will note, I did end up putting these little cabinet liners in here, especially for ones that I'm gonna be like putting my mouth on, just because underneath is not that nice. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is what it looks like without the cabinet liner, and like I said, I will probably eventually line all of these. I'm just not in the mood right now. I don't really have time. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into the details of what's in my cabinets because honestly it's really boring. Hopefully you can see me if my head's cut off, I'm sorry. So in the coffee station, we've got our trusty Nespresso. I keep my most frequently used Yeti cup back here for iced coffee. These little espresso cups if I just wanna have espresso by itself. I have the Nespresso milk frother back here. This is a spice grinder. I've got 2 different bags of coffee from my favorite coffee company that is local to the Philadelphia area, and so I'll use these for cold brew or for hot brewed coffee. Speaking of cold brew and hot brew coffee, in order to make cold brew, I use a mason jar with a coffee sock and the spice grinder that I showed you before. This is a new purchase, so this is an OXO French press, and I'm gonna try this out to make hot brewed coffee. I felt like it didn't really make sense because I don't have a ton of counter space, so I didn't want to get a hot coffee maker that basically took up the entire room on. You'll see, I have like a little section that I like to keep empty, and I didn't want to have to put a coffee maker there to take up like so much space on that particular surface. So I ended up going for this, and I'm gonna try making some hot brewed coffee tomorrow. So that's what that mess looks like. I of course also have a water kettle over here. I use this to make tea or to heat up the water for the hot brewed coffee, and then I just have this spinning little utensil holder. I believe the utensil holder is from Target, and most of these utensils were just on sale at whatever grocery store my mom picked them up at. I also keep everything stored on top of this Nespresso pod holder drawer thing. The stove is pretty standard. It's just electric coils. That's honestly what I've had my whole life growing up. Definitely prefer gas, but it gets the job done, and they heat up pretty quickly, which is nice. Like I said, I have this big open area right next to the stove that I like to keep clear in order to prepare food, and that's why I didn't want any appliances on there, because basically all my other counter space is completely eaten up. One thing that I actually do want to show is my spice collection. I've been working on collecting all these spices since like literally college, and I just love having a massive spice collection and having well-spiced foods. So yeah, I'm very proud of this. And I have this little spice rack organizer thing, but I don't know, I might put some spices that I use more commonly on there and then leave this as is, but for now this is fine. All right, so moving on. Fridge is pretty standard, pretty boring. I basically don't have anything in here, but one thing to note is that I do not have ice, so I got these little silicone ice trays. Haven't tried them out yet because I'm still working on this bag of ice. My fridge is also really boring. Notable things, I have 2 different types of milk, oat milk and almond milk, because I'm feeling spicy. And then this guy right here is one of the most incredible things I've ever purchased. I always had the pourable Britas, but I never even knew that something like this existed. So it's basically just a big reservoir Brita, and then you flip this tab and it will pour water out of this spigot. So I just have the spigot hanging right over the edge of this shelf in the fridge, and I can just fill up my water like this. And oh my goodness, this is like one of the best things I think I've ever purchased for an apartment, because it makes life so much easier. Okay, more boring stuff. Here's the sink. I just keep my paper towels here, hand sanitizer, a little dish so I can take off my engagement ring whenever I'm washing the dishes. I have this little sponge holder, which is actually, I believe, a soap holder, but I found it in Target and my fiance said it would work very well as a sponge holder. It absolutely does. And then I just have a drying rack and a microwave on the counter next to the sink, and then there's the dishwasher as well. I pretty much never use the dishwasher, honestly. I always just hand wash things because I never use enough dishes to make the dishwasher make sense. And then lastly, I just keep my trash can underneath the sink. So moving on from that, my laundry is actually through the kitchen here. Does it have a light? It does have a light. Pretty self-explanatory here, but we just have the dryer and washer stacked up on top of each other. I keep some cleaning supplies here like my Swiffer, my broom and dustpan, and then obviously my laundry detergent, and then the water tank is on the other side. If we turn from the kitchen, you get the full view of my living room area. So honestly, this living room area is pretty dark, and that's one of the things that I didn't really like as much about this apartment. It was kind of a trade-off because I chose a balcony that was facing a more shaded area because it is a little bit more secluded, and so I have more privacy whenever I'm out on the balcony or when I'm sitting at my desk and the blinds are open like they are right now. So that's just kind of something that I chose personally. I sacrificed the lighting in the apartment for the privacy of the balcony, and I think that was probably the right move for me. I do wish it was a little bit brighter in here, so I might consider getting another lamp, but honestly I feel like 3 lamps plus the single overhead ceiling light here, it's probably a little overkill, but that's fine. So moving to right next to the door, I have this little cube organizer bookshelf thing, and I have these little woven baskets. So the baskets themselves are from Target, and then the shelving is from Amazon. I bought this particular shelving unit because it said that it can hold like up to 112 pounds or something on the surface of it, and the combined weight of my 2 fish tanks happens to be about 111 pounds, so that's why I ended up purchasing this particular model. It works really well, it fits the fish tanks really well, so I only have one of them right now, but my betta fish is on the way. I have just a bristlenose pleco in the tank right now, but he's feeling very shy, so we're not going to bother him. My ideal situation would be to eventually redo his tank and turn it into a planted tank, but for now, since I don't have another area to keep him, we're just going to leave it as is. Alright, so the shelving is pretty boring, to be honest. I just keep some of my books in one of the areas. I'm going to put some decor in the other empty one right here, and then I just keep some utility things like batteries and extra power strips. This basket actually keeps a lot of my smaller shoes, so I can keep them very close to the door. We've got some important documents, so just like my lease agreement and everything like that. And then the last one has all of the smaller fish supplies that I need. Okie dokie, so if we make our way from the storage organizer over, we can see a nice overview of my living room. Okay. So this is honestly the part of the apartment that I put the most work into, and I'm not normally a black couch person. In fact, I would not have chosen this myself at all, but this couch was free. It was in my mom's office, so I just decided to take the black couch as the inspiration for the space and then build off of that. So I looked up a bunch of Pinterest photos, and I came to the conclusion that I wanted to do kind of like a black and orange motif in the living room. So that's why you see I've got the black couch. This orange woven blanket is from Target. This is from Big Lots, I think a long time ago. This pillow and this pillow my mom actually made, so she sewed the pillowcases herself. And then this pillow was a gift from a little craft shop in Rhode Island from my fiance. This cream blanket that I have draped over the orange chair is also a handmade piece. It was a charity auction, I believe. They sold a bunch of these blankets for charity, so my dad picked one up for me. And then this gray pillow just came in one of my bedding sets that I don't actually really use the bedding from anymore, but I like the gray pillow, so. Speaking of this chair is actually from Wayfair. You can find it on Wayfair or on Amazon, but I bought this particular one because it was on sale on Wayfair. And the reason it was on sale is because it was an open box model, and I'm pretty sure that means that it was open like on the floor in some Wayfair store somewhere, and it has a little scuff on the back leg, but honestly you can pretty much never see it, so I'm really happy with this. It was significantly discounted because it was an open box model. So this chair is like, I feel like really ties the room together in addition to the rug. Originally, I wanted to find a rug that would work for this space, and I thought that I wanted a lighter color rug. When I purchased this, I actually thought it was lighter than it really is. It ended up being very close to the color of the actual carpet, but I feel like that kind of makes it work better because it's got the black, which ties into the couch and the table and then draws your eye upward to the larger black picture up here, but it also has a background of colors that are more similar to the carpet that already exists here, which works for me because it makes it look less like I put a rug on top of an already established carpet, which I feel like can be a little weird sometimes. So I'm actually really happy with how the rug makes this space look. I also have this very, very old living room table that I'm going to be replacing. This was in my grandparents' house, I believe, and then they gave it to my parents when my parents moved into an apartment. My mom painted it black when she moved into her apartment, so I basically just have this as a space holder until I get my new coffee table, which is from IKEA. I'll post a picture of it here so that you can see what it's actually gonna look like, but it's basically like a black and white set of nesting tables, which I thought would be really cool and kind of bring a little bit more of a modern look to this room, especially with this like old leather couch. And then I just have these marble coasters on the living room table. These are from either TJ Maxx or Home Goods or something like that. And I think I showed it before, but I just have a couple Bath & Body Works candles kind of like strewn about in the apartment in general. This is one of my favorites. This is the lemongrass scent. Okay, so speaking of the artwork, these two side frames are from Target. They came with the gold frames already, so I put these up, and then this centerpiece with the woven cubism bird thing is from IKEA. There's a matching canvas artwork that I ended up putting into my bedroom that you'll see later. This lamp is also from Target, and man, if you're like preparing for an apartment, get ready if you need lamps, because lamps are expensive. Like, they are so expensive. But I do really enjoy this lamp because it's dimmable, so I put one of the like 50, 100, 150 watt bulbs in here, and you turn the dial on it and basically just make it whatever amount of light that you would like, which is really nice, especially in the evenings. The only thing that kind of frustrated me about this light was the fact that this just kind of dangled off, which I found really annoying, so I ended up putting a little command Velcro thing on here and then also tying it back with just a black twist tie. All right, and then the last piece of furniture that's in the room, you guys would have seen me build if you had watched my previous video. This is just a cedar, like sort of unfinished end table. Also, that is a COVID-19 SARS-CoV-2 pillow stuffed animal that my mom made me. I love him because I have a bunch of the little mini microbes, and we decided, hey, we should just make one based off of the COVID-19 model. So my mom's very talented. On this side table, I just keep another coaster and a extra long iPhone charger so that if you're sitting on the couch, you can charge it from basically anywhere. Okie dokie. So I guess the last part of my living room is the fireplace, and I'm gonna be honest, I will never use this. So I'm thinking about taking this space and making it into like a little plant haven for some low light plants. For now, I just have a clock that is off because the ticking drives me insane, but it looks nice here, so aesthetics, I don't know. I've got some photos in picture frames. This picture frame is actually from Japan when we went in the summer of 2019. Handmade picture frame with a bunch of different types of wood, so I love that. I just got this pothos this weekend at Lowe's. It was on sale, so it didn't say what kind of pothos it was, so if you guys know anything about pothos, let me know. I have no idea what variety it is. And again, just some candles and like fall decor up here right now. And yeah, that's it for the living room. All right, so next up is the balcony. Hopefully the lighting isn't awful. I'm not gonna talk while I'm out there, so I'm just gonna insert some clips like as a little overview because I'm shy. So we do get a balcony with this apartment, which is awesome. It's a really huge space and I'm really looking forward to utilizing it. Hopefully I think things are gonna get a little bit cooler, and if that's the case, I might not be able to use it until the spring. But either way, we've got some nice outdoor furniture out there. That is from Walmart. I ended up assembling that myself last night, and my mom found that on sale for a really discounted price. And then also I have some hanging lights. Those are from Lowe's. They're outdoor lights, and they're gonna require an extension cord if I ever want to plug them in. I feel like they just make the space look really nice. If it was warmer, I would definitely be putting some outdoor plants out there because I love outdoor plants, but since it's going to be cold very soon, I figured why bother if they're just gonna die. And then there is also a little balcony storage area where I store things that I don't need, like large cardboard boxes that I want to keep, and eventually I'll probably bring down my snowboard and store it out there as well. Okie dokie, so lastly, if you turn from the living room space to the opposite wall, you get my desk area. So this is what my desk setup looks like. You guys are probably familiar with my desk if you've seen my desk tour before. I will link that down below. And honestly, not much has changed in this situation except that I hung this little moon phase hanging decoration above it, and I have a gold desk lamp there that is very bright. Yeah, I just keep my backpack on the ground over there trying to hide some cords. This is my printer right now. I honestly have no idea what to do with it because it's very large, and I basically don't need a printer right now because everything's virtual. So I just have the paper for the printer stacked on top of that, and then my Switch accessories stacked on top of that. Also in this gray bag is all of my YouTube and filming stuff that I don't really know where to put right now, so we'll figure that out in the future. But yeah, as you can see, I've really kind of been toying with this gold motif that I think is really nice. One last pan of the living room area. So moving on just past my desk, we have a very small hallway that leads to the pantry, bedroom, and the bathroom. So in this hallway, I have just hung some artwork from old apartments, and because I was going for a warm orange theme in the living room, I didn't want to use any of these blue ones in there, so I figured I would just hang them up in the hallway, and I think they look nice here. This one almost looks like it's being displayed in an art gallery, which I think is kind of funny because of the light right over it. So right here is my pantry. There's honestly not a lot of interesting things going on in here, just some non-perishable foods as well as like bananas and produce on the top. Lastly, on the bottom here, I just keep this large plastic bin that I will throw my recycling in. I have some larger things for the fish tanks, so the bucket that I use for water changes, and then this is a huge bag of fluval stratum substrate that I will be using hopefully to change the Pleco's tank into a planted tank. And then lastly, I just have some extra reusable bags down here. So this is originally, I think, a linen closet, but I have found it much more useful as a pantry. All right, next up is the bedroom. And honestly, I did not put a lot of effort into this space, and I think it turned out better than the living room. So that's what I get for trying, I guess. All right, so starting off on the first wall, this is looking pretty empty right now, and I know what you're thinking, that's really boring, so I am eventually going to put a circle mirror from Urban Outfitters and also some ladder shelving from Urban Outfitters here, and I'll throw in pictures so you guys can see what that looks like. All right, so moving on, I kind of wanted to create a little station for my guitar. So this is what this corner looks like right now. I have the guitar and some string lights. The string lights are battery powered, and I got them off of Amazon, so they use a little remote in order to turn on or change the settings. They come in either just white or rainbow, and personally I would never use the rainbow ones, so I bought the just white ones. And then to make this space a little bit more musical and a little bit more cohesive, I ended up ordering some art prints on Society6 and on Etsy, and they're all John Mayer themed, so I'll pop them up right now so that you can see what they look like. And yeah, I'm just gonna have like a little John Mayer guitar shrine right here because I love John Mayer. So yeah, all right, moving on. This is my bed and my side table. So the side table is from IKEA. I got it last year. You would have seen in my last apartment. The little bedside table lamp is also from IKEA, and the alarm clock is from Amazon. It lights up slowly over the course of an hour before you set the time to wake it up, so it mimics the sunrise. Talked about it before. This is actually a gray duvet with a white duvet cover over it. I have a Vince Camuto fuzzy blanket that I got from either HomeGoods or TJ Maxx or something like that. The little checkered pillow is from Target from their fall decor last year, and then the woven pillow is from Target this year. The body pillow is just a standard body pillow filling with a Target exterior. And then for the shams, I actually kept the gray shams that came with the duvet that is inside the duvet cover right now. And then I just have some white pillows in the back. Above the bed, I have the sister canvas to the one that's in the living room. It just has a cool stag with antlers, and that's the one that I saw first. That's the one that I saw that I thought was really cool, so I love it how it looks above the bed with all the lights and everything. I also have a smaller beach portrait over on the right side of the bed that I got from HomeGoods, and this huge mirror that is from Target. Again, hello. I also just store my guitar case on top of a basket with blankets back there, and then I have a small snake plant and my jewelry case right in the corner. You guys ever film holding your tripod? It's not fun. Alright, so next up is the window. There's not a ton of interesting stuff going on here, but the two curtains and also this like pipe looking curtain rod is from Target. On the opposite side of the mirror here, we just have a small trash can, a little bed desk thing leaning up against my dresser. We have my dresser, which is from IKEA from a long time ago. I got it when I was probably like 12 years old. And then this beautiful Monstera plant, who is inside a pot that has a little plastic liner and then inside of a woven basket because I couldn't decide. This Monstera is like the pride and joy of my apartment, and it's unfortunate because I don't actually have a really great place to put it. This spot that it's in right now is the spot that gets the most consistent bright light, and I'll show you guys a little overview of what my room looks like towards the afternoon. It gets a really nice sunny spot right there. I know that Monsteras like secondary lighting or like indirect sunlight, so hopefully I have just been moving it around, honestly, and it gets like a different spot every day, so that I make sure that it's getting some light, but it's not getting too much, and hopefully it's as indirect as possible because I love her and I don't want her to die. Okay, so this is actually the biggest room and the biggest closet that I have ever had in my entire life, including my childhood home. So I am so excited to finally have a walk-in closet. Granted, it's not the largest walk-in closet in the entire world, but it feels huge to me because I have never had one before. So let's go. Okie dokie, so here's what the bottom of the closet looks like. I just have a small woven basket for socks and my hamper, and then I've got a bunch of shoes just kind of lined up down here. I do have a wooden shoe bench coming in the mail from Urban Outfitters, so that should make the shoe situation a lot better because that whole Lululemon bag is full of shoes. There's a bunch of shoes behind it, and then that little bag down there, you can see a bit of it, it's green. That also is full of shoes, so whoops. Starting on the left side, I have all my denim and just like other nice pants hanging. And behind them, I keep some, it's pretty dark, but you can't really see, but I keep his toolbox, and then I keep all my exercise things. So like that little gray circle in the back is my yoga mat, and then I have some weights down there and a yoga block. Above the pants, I just keep all of my tops, and I have a mix of like summer and winter clothes because I don't really know what's gonna be happening this year in terms of going home for Thanksgiving. They've already told us not to make any non-refundable travel plans, which isn't a problem for me, but I ended up just bringing up some of my winter clothes anyway, just in case. And I just have extra backpacks and bags on the top. Same thing on this side, just kind of storing some things, extra contact lenses, lights, command strips, bags, etc. My N95 masks. And then this is all of my more casual sweaters and sweatshirts that aren't like outerwear. Behind that is all my dresses, and then a couple of nicer clothing options, business professional, business casual, and my white coat. On the back of the door to the closet, I just have some extra purses and a hat hanging. All right, last up, if you exit my bedroom and go straight down the end of the hall, you will enter the bathroom. Okay, so this is what the bathroom looks like. The first thing that I was literally shocked by when I entered this apartment was how large this vanity is. Like, what? This is huge. First of all, we've got a little medicine cabinet here. I don't actually keep very many medicines in here, but just some topical things, deodorant, bandages, etc. I've got my moisturizer and then all of my makeup and sunscreen here. This little shaver thing that I use to trim my fiance's hair sometimes. And then over here is all the tooth care things, along with 2 plain white hand towels. And then here is just the toilet and shower area, so I hung up my towel onto command strips over here. Toilet, squatty potty, necessity. And then I have this peachy pink bath mat and a peach themed shower curtain, which I feel like I just smile every time I see this. I think it's so fun. And then of course storage on top of the toilet where I keep toilet paper. All 3 of these things are from Amazon. That's where I got them. I believe that this you can also find at Urban Outfitters, but on Amazon it was a little bit less expensive and it also wasn't back ordered like it was on Urban Outfitters. So if you're looking for something like this, I would check Amazon or maybe Home Goods. And I also know that Target has a lot of really cute shower curtains as well. This inside, more plasticky shower curtain is also from Target. And then last up, I have this little shower organizer, which is also from Target. It actually ends up working out perfectly because the shower in here has more of a gooseneck, which holds this thing in place really well. Alright guys, that is my entire apartment tour. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there is something that I forgot to tell you where it was, definitely let me know and I will try and let you know. Some of these things are older, so they might not be accessible still, but I will try my best to link everything below, but I'm not going to make any promises because it's going to be a busy week for me and I honestly just don't know if I'd be able to find everything, especially some of the older pieces of furniture. This apartment is only 588 square feet, but as you guys saw, I think they really did a lot with the space and they make it feel much larger than it actually is. I finally have a separate space to do work and to relax at night, which is a huge thing for me. Having my desk in my bedroom is honestly such a negative towards my productivity, so having these 2 separate spaces is honestly the only thing that I was looking for in an apartment, and I feel like this apartment has definitely gone above and beyond my expectations. I feel like I have so much room, so much counter space everywhere. I just absolutely love it, so I'm very, very excited for this year and excited for you guys to come along with me. Definitely let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see from me next time. Subscribe and follow my Instagram if you're interested in my life as a medical student and you want to see more med school videos. I also sometimes do Lululemon and fashion hauls and athletic videos, so if you guys are interested in any of that, please stick around. I would love to have you. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!